Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It is exactly 9:49 a.m. Welcome back to the program, into our final interview. We do apologize. It was meant to be done via Skype, but we're having problems, connectivity problems there. Now, this year, African Muslim Agency celebrates 35 years of service to humanity, operating across the globe to provide sustainable relief in countries and villages stricken with poverty, where even the most basic essentials are not available, such as water. Today, we speak to Hafiz Hussain Choonara, Regional Manager of African Muslim Agencies, who's currently in Malawi with the AMA delegation. But before we start talking, I believe we're going to be taking a video of some of their work. So please stand by. Right after we view that video, we'll be talking with Hafiz Hussain Choonara.
This behind me is Africa. And as the African Muslim Agency teams, right now we're standing in the warm heart of Africa in Malawi. And behind me, as you can see, is the beautiful valleys and the hills. Africa, a continent of 1.3 billion people. But close to 498 million people live under the poverty line. Imagine, with your support, how this beautiful continent, with water, people can get an education instead of walking every day risking their life to fetch water or food. Support the African Muslim Agency's empowerment and sustainable programs in Africa and be part of healing Africa.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. 9:51 exactly. Welcome back. And we now speak with Hafiz Hussain Choonara down on the ground in Malawi. We just viewed that lovely clip where he showed us some background of the beautiful country that he's in, but obviously in dire need of water. Hussain, salamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, you sound a bit, the line's a bit bad. Let's just see how we proceed. I'm sorry we can't get you on StreamYard, but let me ask you, we know that you're involved, or African Muslim agencies are involved in quite a number of projects right across Africa. And today you're specifically in Malawi. What is it that you and the delegation are doing there, and what is the current situation on the ground?
Well, we have, African Muslim Agency, alhamdulillah, this year commemorates 35 years of empowering communities, 35 years of educating communities, 35 years of inspiring communities. And Malawi was one of those countries that was first, where the outreach went out first. And our purpose for our trip here is to join our teams who are permanently based here, to intensify efforts as we commemorate 35 years. It is only the start, inshallah, as we intensify efforts to build more water wells, to build more boreholes, to build more masjids, to provide schools for education. Because as soon as the villages that we are traveling day by day, hour by hour, like today, I'm speaking to you from the banks of the Shiga River. My foot on the waters of the river, and behind me is a place where people lose their life. Every month, one person dies because they got no choice but to come fetch water from these banks. And I'm standing at the very spot of where these people lose their lives. And when I say they lose their life, I'm referring to, I'm standing in this village, and people wake up in this village, and I'm looking at the huts, and they have to drink water, they have to wash, they have to cook. So they walk down this forest where I'm standing in right now. It's a pity you can't see me on video. And they come to these banks and they fetch water. But at doing so, they risk their life. And we know of many people here. We've met families from this area that have lost their life recently due to crocodile attacks and hippo attacks.
Okay, so Hussain, we know obviously AMA has made it very, very clear to us over time, over the hundreds of interviews that we've been having, all the interactions we've been having with the amazing work you guys do. What we do know for a certainty is that clean drinking water is such a difficult thing for people in rural areas of Malawi to acquire, as you've just explained now. How does AMA assist with this?
Clean drinking water in Malawi is not a difficult thing, actually. Clean drinking water is a life-threatening thing. Because how can you, it's something, water is not something you can negotiate to go to the shop and choose to buy it, yes or no. You need water. You need water to wash, to cook. Water allows for food to grow. Water quenches your thirst. Without water, you don't have anything. So imagine your entire life, from being a child, your entire life till the day you die. All you do every single day is wake up to go walk kilometers and risk your life to fetch water. These are the people that we are meeting. These are the villages we are in. And through water wells and boreholes that our teams are building here in Malawi, we are changing that. We talk about 35 years of inspiring. We were in villages yesterday where it is inspiring, where you see boreholes, where you see the distances that people used to walk. And then you see the inspiration, where you see the people are happy because they got water on the doorstep because someone donated a water well or borehole. That makes a massive, 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 massive difference. So the projects such as water wells and boreholes is ever so important.
Alhamdulillah for that. Hussain, we often take for granted having a beautiful masjid close to our homes. South Africa being a typical example, go to any suburb, go to any township, you'll find beautiful masjids, around every second, third block. But we understand this is not the case in Malawi. What does AMA do in this space, and what does this in fact mean to the Malawian Muslim communities?
Alhamdulillah, of 35 years now, more than 100 masjids, Islamic centers have been built across the different villages in Malawi. And we've seen, firstly, the need where there's a need for a masjid. Remember, a masjid is a space of prayer, a space of peace, but it means so much more. Yesterday, we visited a town called Salima, and a masjid was built there, sponsored by one of the donors more than 30 years ago. And when it was built, it was an empty space of land, a vibrant land, but empty space. 30 years later, yesterday, to be walking into that village, a very remote village, but to see the people that congregated and now live around the masjid, it was really, really, really inspiring. We talk about 35 years of empowering. That masjid empowered that village. People now have a place to go to connect with, to share. We talk about 35 years of educating. That masjid allowed for education, and it's only the start. We had to renovate the masjid and make it bigger. We had to put more boreholes in that area because people started living around that masjid. And now that village, that town is now a vibrant place to be at. Its farming is happening. People are happy. People are smiling. So when you sponsor a masjid, you sponsor it with your niyyah in your heart. And may Allah grant you fulfill your niyyah and grant you the palace in Jannah like He promises. For you build a house, you build His house. But with but imagine the impact that you have on the people in the villages in Africa when you sponsor masjid and water wells and boreholes. You change their life forever.
Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of you good health and long life to continue your amazing work. My final question then is, how do listeners go about sponsoring a water well, borehole, or masjid?
I think I didn't hear you. You were asking how do people get involved. Go to africamuslimsagency.co.za. Connect with our offices around the country, around South Africa, on our website. We got live feedback coming to you on our social media pages at Africa Muslims Agency. And be part of empowering the villages, of educating the villages, of inspiring a nation, inspiring villages across Africa. You can donate water wells, boreholes, or donate towards it. The reward is the same in Allah's eyes. Allah reward every single donor except the intention. And when the AMA commemorates 35 years, may this be a start, inshallah, to further and intensify the efforts in Africa and around the world, inshallah.
Ameen, Thumma Ameen. Hafiz Hussain Choonara from Africa Muslim Agency. Shukran for talking to us. Keep safe and continue the amazing work you guys do. Before we wrap up, I have a message here from Paul Zeman. He says, thank you, Salam Media. I love your broadcast, and this message was posted via Facebook. Thank you, Paul. Continue listening, continue becoming a part of the Salam Media community. We value your input. And just before I wrap up, some breaking news. Angie Motsecha briefs the media on the opening of schools for the 2022 school year. So do try and catch that on Salam Media. It will be coming to you within a couple of minutes' time. Stay with us. Breaking news is that the Minister of Basic Education is going to be briefing the media on the opening of the schools for the 2022 school year. And that's it. That brings me to the end of the show. It is exactly 10 o'clock. A very big thank you from my controller and producer, and that's Nasreen Naidu. Thank you for being with us on the show. Hope you've enjoyed our company as much as we've enjoyed yours. Don't forget, you can be with us again tomorrow morning at the same time. Once again, let me remind you about the COVID protocols. Please, please, please abide by them. We've just heard that a new variant has been identified in Cyprus. That variant has been named Delta Cron. We'll be bringing you that story later in the week, inshallah. Take care on the roads. As always, from me, Julie Ali, it is Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz.